What's going on, everybody? Afternoon, evening, morning. I still have not found an intro after a month of not uploading. But yeah, I hope everybody had a good New Year's, a good holidays, or whatever you celebrate. Yeah, I kind of just did like some restructuring of my life and kind of just didn't really feel like uploading. To kind of preface this, there's like no real script or anything. I'm kind of freeballing everything I'm saying. I've spent way too much time making the video sound perfect and sound good. And while I do think the videos quite literally had like a decent quality of organization, I think there was just a very distinct lack of just like authenticity. So I might stutter a lot, I might say a lot of shit that just doesn't sound right. Yeah, like a lot of ums, a lot of uhs, there's going to be a lot of syllables, there's going to be a lot of unnecessary mouth noises. But I'm trying a different approach to just how I speak. And you're going to notice that, like, all throughout the video. But, anyways, I'm going to get right into it. Just like the start of all my videos, I kind of have to begin with ripping up Gen Z. You know, we're cooked. We're a bad generation. We're low-key probably going to be like, oh, no, life's for real. And, yeah, I think today will be an interesting video about that. So, I'm going to jump right into it. To basically say, to start it off, let's just be real. We live, like, in a consumerist world. North America, Canada, United States. Shout out any Mexican viewers. I don't know what it's like over there, but who knows. Basically, what I'm trying to say is just, I think throughout like our whole life, we've grown up in that kind of consumerist idea of just basically just buying things, owning things, wanting things, getting things, just even the idea of wanting things, and basically kind of like instant gratification has kind of dictated the way we live. But really and truly, we can kind of sort of push it away as like first world living. You can just say, well, that's first world living, man, you know? You live in a first world country, at least, you know, be grateful you're not living in another part of the world. But I think the problem is with like living in a first world society and having everything gifted to you when you're sheltered is you kind of miss out on real opportunities to really develop skills, or at least develop a skill that's like authentic in a way. And I think like by the time we had reached our teens, a lot of us have definitely decided, you know, like what artists, shows, sports, like hobbies, fashion, stuff like that. We decided, you know, we were able to curate an identity super quickly with just the internet being at our fingertips. But I don't think a lot of us had really made meaningful connections with the way we discovered things. It was just kind of like a click, you know, you go on our website, go on a YouTube video, you're like, oh, that's cool, that's me now. And that's just how we were raised. We can't dictate the way the world is when we were born. We're born into what we were born into. I think it's a little upsetting and kind of sad that we missed out on the idea to really make a meaningful impact in finding a way to discover ourselves. And I think that kind of comes with, I guess, the identity of just, you know, being chronically online. And, yeah, just kind of taking a consumer-based approach towards building an identity, you know, whatever that means. But I think what it is, well, a lot of us Gen Z and even Gen Alpha now are growing up chronically online or always consuming ideas and identities and stuff like that and passions through the internet. There seems to be kind of a big lack of, hold on, my nose is bleeding. Lack of community based around finding our identity, especially with the internet. And I think it can inadvertently lead to a sense of individualism. And, you know, I'm not saying that's the case for every single person. I know there's a lot of scenes pretty much everywhere. There's a music scene all over North America. But I do think just with the mixture of media-based consumerism, as well as the idea of first world sheltered living, has definitely made, I think, a lot of people feel kind of alone in their ability to discover themselves. And one behavior that I seem to notice a lot, actually, with Gen Z, and this was even something that I've actually experienced myself, was the kind of tendency to gatekeep things, right? This is a very, I think, particular thing with a lot of younger folks is we want to find a piece of media or just something specific, you know, maybe something underground or something that is definitely not mainstream, and make it feel unique to us, feel like we can tie a piece of belonging, identity, and individualism through keeping something hidden from the rest of the world. And I think there's a lot of, like, what do I say? There's these people that want to have this lack of, that feel this lack of I don't know, like just feeling validated. So they take something, you know, that's super underground, and they'll be like, oh, hey, you know, I have something that's way better than your mainstream crap. I'm different than all of you guys. Well, you guys are here listening to this. I'm listening to this. You know, there's that, I saw this whole meme like a while ago on Reels or whatever, where it was just like, you know, we're not even listening to, you know, like deathcore anymore. We're listening to like Egyptian trap. And then, you know, you get all these obscure music genres from around the world that people are listening to. I think there's this big sense of like wanting to feel needed and feel better than people. So they take other people's art and other people's media, consume it for themselves, and then try to claim a sense of originality from it. And I think what it is that people don't know what it means or don't know how to feel validated on their own and feel unique on their own. We don't know what it means to be unique. Some of us are literally just trying to look individual and just putting on this performative act. I think the easiest solution to that is, in my opinion, just the opposite. Instead of consuming, make something. While we are maybe one of the most troubled generations that comes to consumer-based approaches, we're also in one of the best positions to make something meaningful because of the consumer-based lifestyle we live. We have a plethora of examples all over the internet of things we can choose from, things to take inspiration from, things to make an idea board, a portfolio of just creative, you know, things. And we are probably the best generation to do this, and none of us know how to because we don't know how to, we don't want to, or maybe we're stubborn, right? It can differ from millions of different things. I think if the same people that are trying to find all these underground artists and all these underground things and all these new and different ideas that are unique, these are the same kind of people who probably have so much artistic potential because they have that drive to be different, but they're using it the wrong way. And I think I fell in that same boat too. The only reason why I'm actually making this video is because I felt that way too. But I think it's true that if you genuinely want to feel a sense of validity and a sense of individualism, you have to go and make something creative of your own. And I get it. I know making something is hard. The first thing you will ever make of anything is going to suck. Like, undeniably. I remember that first clip of Ninja learning how to crank a 90 on the Fortnite island. Horrible example. I am internet rotted. But the point is, like, you gotta just trial and error of making something unique to you, and you will watch as that evolves over time into something great. The only way I learned how to even make YouTube videos was just by making them. I didn't have a clear plan. My first 4 videos, like, it felt like presenting to the class, man. And really and truly, holy shit, this nosebleed sucks. Really and truly, I just genuinely believe that the best way to go about feeling original is to make anything that means something to you. Make it. That's what art is for, right? Like, don't get me wrong, get money, right? Don't talk to no hoes, but make something, man. Just make anything. And I think that's what we're missing out on. I think Gen Z is, ironically enough, the most troubled generation that comes to consumerism, but we're also, again, in the easiest boat to do this. I mean, we live in a really comfortable part of the world. We live in an extremely developed part of the world that is connected to the global media. Like, how have we not made more? That's my question. Anyways, that is kind of just the gist of this video. Thank y'all for watching or listening. Like and subscribe. And yeah, tell me in the comments what it is that means something to you. Make something. What is it that you want to make, right? Anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one.